That completes the order, Mr. President.
Recognize the senator from the 4th to speak to the measure.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is an honor to be here today, and this is a bill that we've been in the House working on real hard with the House, and as y'all know, we passed Senate Bill 211 here a few weeks ago, and as I stated a few days ago, I think one of the key words coming out of this whole session for the House and Senate is literacy, or more important, illiteracy. So we worked very closely with Representative Wade, Representative Ballard, Representative Evans, and the governor's office on this, on 538, House Bill 538, and also Senate Bill 211. And I'm very proud of our work in the Senate and the efforts around literacy this session, and we appreciate the bipartisan efforts and collaboration with the governor's office and the House. Today, the House is taking up Senate Bill 211, which we passed unanimously from this body. It forms the Georgia Literacy Council. This bill 538 complements Senate Bill 211. Working in partnership with their efforts, I bring before you the House Bill 538 called the Georgia Early Literacy Act. What this bill does, it defines educational literacy skills, high quality instruction manuals, and the science of reading as evidence-based practices required for our students. This legislation also sets a specific framework for implementation for the Department of Early Care and Learning, State Board of Education, Department of Education Professional Standards Commission, and our local school systems. Section 2 in the bill refers to the decal requirements for implementing evidence-based professional development for early learning required by teachers by July 1, 2025, and this bill has specific dates in it. Starting on line 92, brief overview of the framework. State Board with the Department of Education and GOSA set uniform grade appropriate metrics for measuring literacy. State Board will approve high quality instruction materials. State Board and Department will approve universal reading screeners to be used by schools by July 1, 24. The Department of Education, working with the University System of Georgia and the Professional Standards Commission, will approve professional development programs for K through 3 teachers. We'll also provide technical assistance and implement training. If you'll see on line 159, local boards of education beginning in August 24 will use high quality instruction materials for K through 3. You see, this bill has a lot to do with K through 3. Line 199 shall implement for public school system tiered reading intervention plans for students K through 3. Beginning in July 1, 25, Georgia assessment for certification of teachers or any other assessment required by Professional Standards Commission shall be aligned with developmentally approved evidence-based literacy instruction. As you can tell, this legislation provides for the implementation of important evidence-based practices, and I appreciate how our Senate Bill 211 set us up, the Georgia Literacy Council, to oversee and ensure that these policies are working. The council will also make important recommendations for investments and funding needed to sustain these efforts. I am confident we are moving in the right direction needed so that all of our children will learn how to read. Mr. President, I'm happy to answer any questions.
You do have a question, Senator. Senator from the 42nd.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the senator yield?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, you may have mentioned this, and if you did, I missed it, so I apologize. Can you give me an update on the status of SB 211 in the other chamber? Yes,
ma'am. As I understand it, SB 211, Representative Ballard's in the back right here now, and if she'll give me a nod, it has been passed. It's been passed in the House, correct?
Up today, she said.
Today is still
up
bad.
today.
Yes,
well, we certainly look forward to the House passing SB 211, don't we, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, we sure do. Thank you, ma'am.
For your work, and thank you to the representative.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You have no questions, Senator.
Thank you. And, Mr. President, I yield to will.
We have a late coming amendment here. Secretary, read the caption.
Senator Anna Batarte of the 31st offers the following amendment. Amend Senate Education and Youth Committee substitute to House Bill 538 by replacing line 272 with the following. In Code Section 20-2-206, provided, however, that the Commission's standards and procedures consider for in-state certification nationally accredited teacher certification programs outside of this state which are state-sponsored and meet the academic accreditation and certification requirements of the Commission and. That completes the order, Mr. President.
Recognize the senator from the 31st to speak to the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Apologize for the last minute amendment. Basically what this amendment does is simply requires consideration of any nationally accredited educator prep program in the state. It meets the Georgia Academic Operations Standards established by the PSC. We already went through the work that the senator from the 4th talked about this bill, but as we talk about workforce shortages and expanding the teacher pipeline, this amendment will add to that. Mr. President, I will yield the will.
Senator is yielded. Does any of the senators wish to speak for or against the measure? Chair hears none. Is there objection to the previous question being ordered? Chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Question is on the adoption of Amendment 1 from the senator from the 31st. Is there objection to the adoption of Amendment 1? Without objection, Amendment 1 is adopted. Questions on the adoption of committee substitute as amended. Is there objection to the adoption of the committee substitute as amended? Hearing none, the committee substitute as amended is adopted. Is there objection to agreeing to the report of committee which is favorable to the passage of the bill? Chair hears none. The report of committee is agreed to. Is there objection to the main question being ordered? Chair hears none. The main question is ordered. The question is on the passage of the bill by substitute. All those in favor will vote yea. Opposed, nay. Secretary, unlock the machine. On the passage of the bill, the yeas are 48, the nays are 1. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed by substitute.